Have you ever found yourself just staring at your screen, feeling like you've run a full marathon just by checking your emails? That feeling? That's not just a case of the Mondays. It's burnout, and it's way more than just a buzzword. But what if the fix isn't another yoga class or some new productivity hack? What if the problem isn't actually you? Let's get into it.
Some of the first people to study this came up with this really powerful phrase. It kind of gets at this cruel irony, right? Burnout doesn't just happen to anyone. It often hits the people who were the most passionate, the ones who were once totally on fire for what they do. It's that awful, gut-wrenching feeling when that fire just goes out.
And this leads to a really crucial question. We're always told to be more resilient, right? To manage our stress better. But what if we're looking in the completely wrong direction? What if the issue isn't with the people, but with the places they work?
To answer that, we first have to get a handle on what burnout really is. Because, trust me, it is so much more than just feeling tired.
Okay, let's look at the official research definition here. Two things really jump out. First, it's a syndrome, not just a bad mood that comes and goes. And second, it's caused by chronic stressors on the job. It's not about personal weakness. This tells us that burnout is a serious, work-related condition that builds up over a long time.
And this syndrome, it's not just one thing. It actually has three distinct parts. First up, you've got exhaustion. This is the one we all recognize, that feeling of being totally overextended, like your emotional and physical batteries are just completely drained. But it doesn't stop there. That constant exhaustion leads to part two, cynicism. This is when you start to feel detached, negative, or just really distant from your job. And finally, that all feeds into inefficacy. That's the feeling that you're just not effective anymore, that nothing you do really matters. It's this nasty combination of all three that defines real job burnout.
So if burnout is this three-headed monster, who's the most likely to face it? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. It challenges a lot of what we think we know.
And here it is. This is the key takeaway from decades of research. While sure, personality can play a little part, the evidence is just overwhelming. The workplace environment is a much, much bigger factor in causing burnout. The whole focus shouldn't be on fixing the person, it should be on fixing the place.
So if the environment is the real problem, what is it about our jobs that's so toxic? Well, researchers have zeroed in on 6 specific areas where a chronic mismatch between you and your job can happen. These are the real roots of burnout.
Okay, these 6 areas are where all the friction happens. A mismatch in workload isn't just too much work, it can be the wrong kind of work. A lack of control makes you feel like a cog in a machine. Not enough reward, and that's not just about money, makes you feel completely undervalued. A toxic community at work can be incredibly isolating. A deep sense of fairness or unfairness breeds that cynicism we talked about. And finally, a clash of values, where you feel like you have to compromise who you are, well, that's just draining. A big gap in any of these areas is a recipe for burning.
Now, understanding the problem is one thing, but what does the solution actually look like? If burnout is the disease, what's the cure? It's not just the absence of burnout, it's a really positive state called job engagement.
See, engagement is so much more than just not being burned out. It's a genuine state of fulfillment. It's about feeling energized by your work, being deeply involved in it, and feeling like you're actually good at what you do. It's the huge difference between just clocking in and out and truly thriving.
Let's just look at the flip side here. It's night and day. Instead of that crushing exhaustion, engaged employees have vigor, they have energy, they're resilient. That bitter cynicism is replaced by real dedication, a sense of purpose and pride in what you do. And in place of inefficacy, you get absorption. You know that flow state where you're so into your work that time just flies by? That's absorption.
So, if we want to move people from burnout to engagement, how do we actually do it? This is where we run into a major paradox in how most companies try to solve this problem.
It's wild when you think about it. The research couldn't be clearer. Burnout is an organizational problem, rooted in those 6 mismatches. And yet, the huge majority of solutions out there are all about fixing the individual. Companies offer stress management workshops or wellness apps, which basically send the message, hey, this place is really stressful, so here's how you can cope with it better.
So this really leaves us with 2 very different paths. On one side, you have the individual-focused solutions. They might give you some temporary relief from the exhaustion, but they do nothing for the underlying cynicism or feelings of inefficacy. On the other side, you have real organizational changes that address the root causes, those 6 mismatches, to build genuine engagement and create change that actually lasts.
At the end of the day, the real solution isn't about making people tougher.
It's about creating a better workplace. One with a manageable workload, where people have a say in their work, are rewarded fairly, feel a sense of belonging, are treated with respect, and can actually connect with the company's values. The goal is to build a workplace where engagement is the norm, not the rare exception.
And that leaves us with a final, pretty powerful question to think about. It's not about whether you are resilient enough for your job. The real question we should be asking is this: is your job and your workplace designed to help you thrive? Is it a place that burns people out, or is it a place that builds them up?